welcome back to the Weekly Hijack.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, we're back with Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time.
It's
Saturday. Oh, wait, no.
It's been a while, and this was a fun opening. I might have been a little happier without those last 5 minutes.
I was going to say the same thing.
There are two things that would have made this episode better. If it stopped 5 minutes earlier, and it's time to kill Snow White and Prince Charming. They are done in this show. Everyone else was great. And you can even keep Prince Charming. Snow White is just atrocious these days.
I thought Snow White was actually said something useful. Prince Charming, poor guy, just kind of stood around in the background reacting to stuff.
I can't stand either of them. And I was like, wow, this is going to be cool. We're going to be in
Camelot,
and we're going to have this thing, searching for Merlin. And then they did the same crap they always do.
No, ladies and gentlemen, Zach is back on the show. No, but yeah, that was disappointing.
I don't know how. We'll probably come back to the end, but yeah, the last I'm like end of the Camelot. It would have been like genius. Like okay, and then I don't know, just skipping 6 weeks and forgetting your memories. It's like
it's like
done this,
and they admitted they've done it before, and like. I get you like your flashbacks, guys, but you don't always have... Like, this was a really fun episode without flashbacks. Just showing... Because you have enough characters, you can do...
Too many sometimes.
Well, but you can do interesting plot lines with both of them. You don't have to be... It doesn't have to include a flashing back and forth
Constantly,
through time. Yeah.
I'll also say not prop department, but costume department. Emma's, starting Dark One outfit, perfect. It was like a perfect transformation there.
So let's start with
very cool the rags. Yeah.
So we started with our dislike. What do we like about this episode?
Overall, a pretty interesting story. I mean, they actually averted because, like, when they first went off in the tornado cyclone, I thought, oh, this is going to be like a Find Emma arc, like we had the Find Henry arc, and that's going to be boring. And so I was actually really happy when they got back together. I liked a lot of the moving pieces. It was fun to see. It was fun to see Emma interacting with the Dark One, the darkness as represented by Rumpelstiltskin.
And I have to say, that's a great way to bring back the Rumpelstiltskins we love without reverting actual Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes. Yeah.
That was really enjoyable. And it made the whole, like, her turning dark thing, which otherwise would have just been like, look, we don't believe you're going to kill Merida. And, like, more believable.
And I think... So I was annoyed at the beginning. You can tell, or these writers have there's no like overarching mythology that like has been planned or anything. They just like throw crap together and they're like, we can do a portal with this new magic wand. Hey, this is here. Which, I didn't mind once it got to they rushed through that stuff to get to a story, which I was like, okay, I don't mind if you don't make this a big deal. I won't worry about it quite as much. And we got to the Camelot, and I was like, okay, cool. And then they decided to go back and do their regular crap again. But I like then, too, the struggle that she has, because the difference with Emma than we've had with other Dark Ones, which I guess we've only really had one of them, she didn't want it. She didn't, so it's not her choosing to be the Dark One, which is what most of the time it is.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, like, the idea of, at first, I was going to dread the idea of Excalibur, part of it being the Dark One's thing. Because, again, that's them like, here's an idea we came up with writing this season instead of some overarching plan on how things work. But then, if they made it about this Camelot thing and this like whole season was then I was like, not a big deal. And now, it annoys me more now that they've come back and gone the other way. I did tell Mom at the beginning of the episode, what would make me automatically like this season better is if they said this was the final season. Because then I wouldn't, like...
You would feel like there was some finality to it.
Yeah, they're going to a climax that's going to be the end, and then it'll be... I can celebrate that, I can get behind you and your thing, but we're going to have... All now I look at is... What other story arc are we going to do that then will lead to another story arc that we have to make up and go to next?
I'll be interested. Well, a couple things I like. First off, I forgot how much I enjoyed their banter.
Yeah. Well, and it just the scenarios they're able to come up with just and leads to a lot of that of Like, what was the
evil vortex of the vortex of evil, and I mean, and Regina has some of the best lines. Like,
and just the fact that you get to scenes like Captain Hook breaking the Wicked Witch out of an insane asylum.
Yeah, I mean that's enjoyable stuff.
It's fun, the wackiness they can play with when they just cut loose like this.
Or the dwarves say like, "Look, we need to be in this show more often. I mean, we need to come help you on adventures more often."
Pretty much, because we really hadn't seen them a lot.
No, and Leroy's great,
and they're way better than Snow White.
Yeah, we got your point there.
I'm gonna keep hammering.
And I was actually kind of. Well, first of all, I'm like, okay, so they gave Zelina something to do, which was kind of nice. And I thought, oh, she's going to go back to Oz, and we'll just take care of this whole... And then they didn't. Well, they might still do something cool with her, but I thought, hey, that would be a nice sort of...
Write her out of the story.
It was a very natural way if you wanted to. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't do something nice with her, because they did find something immediately that did not feel like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because she's the one moving piece that I am the most cautious about at this point.
Yeah, I'm very curious why they didn't. Well, I guess they probably didn't have time with the cyclone coming right back. But like, I'm very curious what they had planned to do with Zelina as they brought her to Camelot and all this new stuff.
Nothing.
Why?
I don't like the plan.
No.
Well, I don't mean the writers. I mean the characters.
Zach's a little cynical if you have not listened to us once upon a time before.
They couldn't leave her to just chop off her arm again.
True. Yeah, like I said, I realized it was a cyclone. Their hand was forced, no pun intended.
I do have to say, also, a really nice use of Merida.
Yeah.
Merida was good.
Because, last season we complained a little bit about the Elsa Anna thing. After a while, felt a little, a
little forced.
But this, she was fun. She was entertaining. It fit very naturally into her world and to our own show.
The difference there was it didn't all of a sudden become the Brave show.
Yeah,
like it did with Frozen.
Maybe she'll show up again. I don't know. But
yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised.
But she was very enjoyable as a guest star. Because they've used a lot of people so far. One minor thing, so we have this early, at the very beginning, it leads off with 6-year-old Emma stealing candy bars or something. Okay, and I don't know who's exactly giving her the warning. Telling a 6-year-old something, who's going to remember that in 20 years? I mean, seriously. She's going to be like, oh, wait, oh, yeah, I was in that theater watching that thing back in 80s.
Was he?
I couldn't tell.
I don't think so.
Haven't we seen Lancelot? No, or was that a fake Lancelot? Way back, who was that? A couple seasons ago that was working for Cora?
Lancelot.
Well, yeah, in this episode, the black guy was Lancelot, but...
Is that the same one who was working with Cora?
I don't know. I think you're right, though. We did see a Lancelot at some point, but I don't know if it was...
fake or not,
or a different character. Yeah.
Planning details.
That was several seasons ago.
I'm a little worried which is going to happen. Are they going to have to slow down putting in Disney characters, or are Disney animated films going to have to speed up to keep up with Once Upon a Time?
Oh, man, okay.
Somebody has to be here as the...
You make this podcast entertaining.
I'm the hecklers and the Muppets. That's my job.
I was thinking, because they had actually shown some promos and stuff with Emma as a dark one than we had seen at the beginning. So it's like, okay, so she is gonna. I knew she would turn eviler at some point, but I didn't know. I wasn't hoping for the flash forward like we got.
Yeah, I wonder if is that more interesting to know that she's going to do it, or does it take the tension out? I wonder. Does I want to watch it because she turns evil, or is it more you kind of knew what she was, but I don't know. I'm not sure which would have been better.
I don't know. It seems to me that, considering the promos were out, and so people already knew it, I don't know. It seems like it would have been interesting it would have worked to just end it with them at Camelot and still have this sort of seed of, what's going to happen?
And do it for 4 episodes and then go back. If that's what you want to do, you don't have to do the whole season of it. But yeah, I agree. The whole flashing 4 to 6 weeks just...
there was an audible groan in the room when that happened.
Okay, Natasha?
I have mixed feelings about it. I kind of like it because I know they'll show us what happened eventually. And it was really cool just to see everybody in their costumes and to see Emma's new costume. I just thought it all worked visually. Now, what was said in the last few minutes was kind of annoying, but I did like the flash forward and the intrigue of that. It made me interested in what had transpired.
That's true. I think I agree. Visually, it was very, like everyone's in costumes, and Emma comes in, and you see a very distinct.
Which I didn't appreciate because I remember there was that one arc where Emma and Snow had gone to Enchanted Forest, and they stayed in their modern outfit like the entire time. And I was like, why do that? You're in the Enchanted Forest. You should try to blend in and dress the part. But anyway.
The problem is, since it goes back to their same old formula, I think it would have taken the writers out of their comfort zone to write her becoming this way, to watch, like...
I think we'll still see some of it.
I think we will, but it's not going to be the way it could have been, and a way that makes me think of more like the first season, where you see this... I don't know, longer, this back and forth, like they're always having to
world jump.
Yeah, the time. Really gets a little annoying.
Because it would have been easy to see a flash forward, but without the memory loss, or they'd just be like, have them, they talk like it's been 6 weeks and they all know it, and we don't understand it, and like, oh, how are we going to find out? And then show us.
Yeah,
that's what Lost does.
It's true. You could have sent them back to Storybrook if you really wanted to do that stuff. But I guess the amnesia thing really was the most annoying thing. Yeah, like I'm with you there because I agree. It was visually very cool to see them in all their. It's
a ticking time bomb sort of thing.
But maybe do the same thing, but not the first episode. I would have preferred to see Camelot and to hang out there for a while.
And hopefully we will. I do feel like Storybrook could be dropped for a while if they really, really, have the guts to.
And some of the characters from Storybrook.
Well, I mean, they pretty much are anyway. Like, I mean...
some of them I won't.
Well, but I mean, we don't see Jiminy Cricket much anymore, and the mirror has been written out of the show again.
Did I hear that, what's her name, the Big Bad Wolf's going to be in this season?
Oh, really?
I thought I read that somewhere.
She had like an appearance after I'm trying to remember. There was like one random episode where she showed up again, and then we hadn't seen her again for a long time.
Red. I don't know why they call her the Big Bad Wolf.
Well, she is.
Red. I know, but that's not how. Yeah, Red Riding Hood.
Red. Yeah. Right.
All right. So I'm actually. I was going into this. I was like, I don't know. I'm generally very optimistic. I thought it was a nice beginning, except again, our things with the last 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, I'm still excited for the things that I was interested in.
And seeing old-fashioned Rumpelstiltskin is fun.
I mean, I was actually very interested in seeing how dark Emma would go, and I do hope we do get to see a lot of their time in Camelot. I do like that they're all there. Mm-hmm. I mean, all of them. I think that's pretty cool.
I think they've got to show us. They wouldn't set up all those people going if we weren't going to see it.
Yeah, I should certainly. I mean, it's more than this is going to sound terrible, but it's more than the last time they had gotten sent back to Enchanted Forest. So, I mean, you got Granny there, and which honestly, I was a little sad that they left Granny's Diner, just because I thought that would have been really fun to have that as their base of operations while they were in Fairy Tale Land.
I gave it a 7 before the last 5 minutes, which is really good for me in the current feel of Once Upon a Time. And now I'm down to a 5.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We'll see what happens next. Okay. Until then, this is Tim.
This is Nick.
And everyone else. You guys were in the living room. You didn't say anything this whole time. Okay, never mind. You're uninvited. Bye.